Being alone isn't normal. It's not how we are designed. For most of human history, the only time people chose solitude on purpose was for spiritual reasons. Otherwise, we lived, survived, and worked and healed together. We're pack animals at a deep primal level. So when modern life pushes us into separate apartments, separate screens, separate everything, it's natural that anxiety and depression show up and your body tries to push you to connect in whatever way possible. We've become especially resourceful at distracting ourselves in order to cope. We scroll, we overwork, we overeat, we indulge in pornography, alcohol, and drugs, or we swipe for novelty and dopamine hits. Sometimes we keep any noise on in the background so that silence doesn't echo and we can't feel the deep fears created by being alone. When the noise fades, the aching returns, like a quiet alert saying, "You are meant for connection." Since the dawn of humankind, humans lived in layered webs of belonging. Extended families, clans, guilds, village squares, shared courtyards, communal fields, temples, and marketplaces. We ate in groups, labored in groups, grieved and celebrated in groups. Solitude existed, but it was purposeful. It was for pilgrimage, retreat, prayer, or initiation. It was time set apart to return with wisdom for the community. Solitude, in a way, was an act of service for the collective. And there was always a supportive community ready to receive the person's return and celebrate them. The modern idea of default aloneness, one person per door, headphones on, DoorDash in, life streamed through glass. It's historically new. Our nervous systems didn't evolve for chronic isolation. They regulate through the presence of other people. Voice tone, eye contact, rhythm, and shared routines. When those inputs go missing, the body flags it as a threat to your very survival. That's why it feels so awful. But just adding more people isn't always a good fix. What calms the nervous system is the felt safety of familiar community, recognizable faces, repeated contact, and shared experiences. Repeated contact with trusted people lowers the body's threat alarms and steadies heart rate, breath, and even muscle tension. Even something as simple as holding a friend or partner's hand has been shown to calm the body during stress. Brief encounters or large events with strangers don't provide this kind of safety. They can even amplify your stress because we're biologically wired to be wary of the strangers and the unknown. The quality of your connections matters. This is why we gravitate to the familiar. The same cafe with the same faces, a favorite spot in the park, a church, yoga studio, or a club. Familiarity signals safety, but that tendency can also backfire. We can feel safe in unhealthy situations, even abusive ones. Sometimes the comfort of what we know overrides what's good for us. But I'll go deeper into that more fully in another video. For now, let's zoom back in on resolving the feeling of loneliness. Given that we're living through an era of structural isolation, and we can't magically conjure a trustworthy circle of people we trust overnight, the most reliable bridge is the one people have used when they chose solitude on purpose. Cultivating spiritual awareness and a sense of belonging that doesn't depend on immediate social conditions. Think of Jesus withdrawing to the desert. Think of Buddha sitting beneath the Bodhi tree. Think of Moses ascending Mount Sinai, or even the village shaman living at the edge of the settlement or spending most of their time alone in a cave, praying for the community and offering healing. In this light, I invite you to see your current solitude as preparation, not a destination, not an ideal, and not something to accept as just the way it is. Think of loneliness and aloneness as a gateway to wisdom, so you can return steadier and more available to build real healthy connections that last, so that you can bring that wisdom in service to the greater community when you create one. The journey begins inside you, by accepting that living an isolated life doesn't feel good. It can be lonely, sometimes even painful. The story you were sold, that an isolated modern life is ideal, isn't true. To meet that discomfort, treat this season of solitude as a spiritual retreat, a time to cultivate inner peace, universal compassion, and a clearer path to your gifts and purpose in life. Think of it as a time to contemplate how you want to express your creativity in the world, and what kind of community you would genuinely belong to and could count on. Once you figure that out, it's just a matter of figuring out where they hang out and starting to show up there on a regular basis. When you set the phone down and feel that pinch of fear or ache in your gut, that's the moment to begin. Ask yourself, when have you most recently felt even a small sense of being held by something larger, by nature, with music, or maybe even in prayer or a moment of silence and stillness? When have you recently felt satisfied and proud? What specifically helped that feeling appear? Ask yourself how you can create more of that. During these times, you might also explore what kinds of spirituality are most suitable for you, if you don't have one. You might ask yourself what you genuinely believe is true about the cosmos and your place in it. Do you believe in a creator God? Do you believe in the pervasive, intelligent presence of love? You're not looking for forced positive self-talk here or adopting a belief you don't truly hold. The idea is to figure out how to connect with a quiet, supportive sense of something greater, a universal force that's already available. No dogma required. It's a force that when you touch it, your body recognizes ease, warmth, and support. Cultivating this kind of inner anchoring doesn't replace community, of course. It's a way to cope and build an inner sense of unity and confidence while you invite a greater sense of connection back into your life. Because the truth is, without this inner connection, a crowded room can still feel empty, and intimacy can still feel unsafe. And when you learn to truly anchor this independent feeling of love, you're able to show up less guarded, less desperate, and more available for mutual care and for romantic connections with healthy people that are willing to be flexible and that you're willing to be flexible with. People who aren't just reaching out of desperation and avoidance. This is the heart of what we're building with the Alchemy platform, a space for people who want real connection without the games and who are willing to grow their inner capacity for love that makes healthy relationships possible. If that resonates, the link is in the description. Check it out. But whether you use Alchemy or not, remember this. Loneliness can nudge us to perform for approval or to seek comforting short-term encounters that don't truly nourish us. If you're feeling that ache right now, start small. One slow breath to feel your own company in your body. And a gentle opening to the possibility that something greater is here to support you. It's not a complete solution. You'll still want to find the right community to spend your time with. But you have to find that internal anchor at the same time so that you also have something to offer that community once you find it. Here's the heart of it. We're built for belonging. Modern isolation hurts, and familiar, repeatable community connections is what signals safety to your body. Because you can't create that overnight, treat this season as preparation. Like thousands of people before you who chose isolation to seek inner wisdom and peace, cultivate an inner anchor of loving awareness and of knowing yourself. Then convert it into simple, consistent steps to connect with real people that you feel a genuine resonance with. Do that, and you will find your inner strength and attract people of equal quality to yourself, forming bonds you can truly count on.